to you live from the White Picket Studios in Houston, Texas. This is the Realty Ruckus. If you are in any way, shape, or form involved in the real estate industry, this is the show for you. And now, your host, Alan Hernandez.
Welcome to the Realty Ruckus out of the White Picket Realty Studios. I am your host, Alan Hernandez. Sitting next to me, your producers, David Bonilla, Jabron Hernandez. We are here to make sure that your real estate business is growing here in Houston, Texas. I'm so excited to be back, you guys. I feel like it's been forever since we've been on the show.
It's been some time for sure.
It's actually only been a week, right?
Yeah.
We took a little bit of time off. We're resetting things. We're changing the structure up of the show.
Lighting up guests.
We're bringing in guests now. Yeah, no, exactly. We couldn't bring in guests before because the studio didn't fit our big guts.
Oh, well, yeah, and then it was Ashley Patton in there.
And then you get Ashley Patton, who's like the size of a small fridge, you know, and then
a small fridge,
a regular size fridge,
like a deep freezer.
Yeah, so. You know, before we get started, we always like to talk a little bit about what's going on. But what's really going on right now is, hey, we're around the corner from Thanksgiving.
That's right.
And I am preparing right now. I'm like making sure
preparing
that I'm
for your weight gain, or what?
I'm preparing for at least an extra few pounds, just adding another notch to the belt, and then really gonna work out on figuring out how I'm going to.
He's gonna work out on figuring.
Yeah, I didn't say I was going to work out. I didn't say I was going to work out. I was going to work out on figuring out.
That's great. That is great.
So we have Mexican Thanksgiving at our house. Obviously, that's how it works.
Is that how it goes?
And I'll let you
guys.
What does that mean? I'll give you guys an inside scoop on what Mexican Thanksgiving is like. First of all, you set the party for like 5 p.m. right, and everybody shows up like at 7, and that's just like standard.
And that's being generous.
That's being generous.
7 o'clock is very generous for Mexican Thanksgiving.
Now here's the thing: when you have a Mexican Thanksgiving, everyone brings food. Not only do you make food at the house that's hosting, and you make more than double the amount that you need, right?
Yeah, you do.
And then on top of that, everyone else brings the food, and all the mijos gotta eat. All the mijos and the mijas. and you come over, you have your dinner, you do your prayer time and whatnot, and then you eat. But you eat round 1, and then you take a little bit of a break.
1 p.m.?
Yeah, no, this ends up happening, like dinner usually, Mexican Thanksgiving usually ends up happening like right around 9 p.m. Okay. And then you take a little bit of a break, right? You eat your first round, you take a little bit of a break, and then you come back maybe like 2 hours later, and everybody gets like a round 2.
Yeah.
And in the meantime,
after the nap, you got to take a nap.
Everyone takes a little bit of nap.
Yeah.
And then in the meantime, as soon as we get towards round 2, people start taking out a beer or whatever they're having.
There's not somebody already drunk.
Yeah, probably.
There's always at least one person
already drunk,
person,
right? And so they'll always like kick off the party. They're always like,
and then the rest of the family's always discussing about how alcohol is not going to be allowed anymore because that one person always
alcohol is never allowed at our parties, but somehow everyone ends up drunk at the end, and I don't even understand how that happens because it's never allowed. And then all of a sudden somebody says,
then someone yells, "Let's take shots,"
and that's when you know the party has started.
Are you sure every Mexican Thanksgiving is like this, or it's just y'all's family?
No, I'm pretty sure that's how this works at most Mexican Thanksgiving parties.
Oh my god!
And here's the thing: at some point, somebody takes out the microphone and decides they're going to start singing.
Yeah.
And that's when things get out of hand.
No, I'll agree with this part. They'll start going towards that. You got to hear a beat or two.
From 10 to 2 a.m. singing, and that's all we'll do. That's all we'll do. Just sing and have a good time. And of course, the bigger ones of us will go for like around 3.
The bigger ones.
Actually, all of us will get around 3. I won't lie to you guys. That's just part of going to a Mexican Thanksgiving dinner. So I hope you guys are prepared for that. I'm loving the fact that it's around the corner. I'm usually the one that cooks the turkey, so I'm preparing for that. I don't cook a lot, but when I do, I like to throw down. That's pretty much how it works. And then the day after, most people go Thanksgiving shopping or Black Friday shopping. But I'm glad to hear that it's not the same as it used to be before, right? Like companies are fighting back now.
That's what I'm hearing. I think we're going to talk about that a little bit.
I love that because if you guys have
God, man,
people tripping over each other.
Someone got stabbed last year over a TV.
I remember that. I remember that. It was here at the Stafford,
right here in
Walmart.
Stafford, yeah.
Someone goes in, gets a big TV, and they're like basically giving these big old TVs away for like $100 or something, right? And then at some point, someone comes in and says, no, that's not really your TV, that's my TV. And I'm sure there was like a little discussion and a fight.
A nice, quaint discussion.
Yeah, apparently, this is what happened. The lady came in, was like, that's my TV. The lady was like, no, I grabbed this one. She'd already paid for it. She stabs her, takes the TV, takes it back through the line, pays for it, goes home, sets the TV up, and then the cops have to show up at her house and arrest her at her house after she stabbed the lady at the Walmart.
Wow.
Amazing. What people will do for a cheap TV. I can't believe it. All right, you guys, we have to take a quick commercial break. You're on the Realty Ruckus. But when we get back, we're going to get into our guest for today's show. I can't wait to tell you all about him. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express, who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service and an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you're interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
All right, we are back to the Realty Ruckus. We just took a quick commercial break. Thank you guys for joining us. Don't forget that you can drop all your questions, comments, concerns, any kind of trolling that you want to do.
Definitely.
We welcome all of that on our radio show because we love to be able to talk to you guys while we're doing this live. Today we're here with our live studio audience. So if you guys are here, you're present, and you're not on your phones or doing something else, make sure that you join in with us too. Let us know.
Yeah, live audiences. They're totally welcome to ask questions. We're about to bring our special guest on.
Speaking of special guests. Now, this is a real special guest, and I'm going to tell you guys why. We set up a show so that we could bring in guests, and this is our first big special guest. So I'm really excited to bring up someone who's been in the business over 11 years, knows what the struggle is, knows what it's like to come in, figure things out, go through all of it. And he actually comes from the oil and gas business. So imagine going from being in the corporate world to saying, you know what, I really don't like that. I want to go out and create something for myself. That can be really inspiring. So I want to hear his story. Let's bring up Ralph Tapia up here from Network Funding. All right. Hey, Ralph. What's going on, my man?
How you doing, Alan?
Oh, I'm doing excellent. Thank you for being on the show, dude.
I appreciate it.
You have been kicking butt on Facebook and social media. I know that's one of the things that we really wanted, that we really saw about you. Like, we saw your videos, we saw what you're doing, but then we started, looking into you, and we found out, where you come from, man. And that was a really cool, inspirational story. And I wanted to maybe just bring that up to everyone's attention because you started in the oil and gas business.
Correct. Yeah, right out of college.
And then all of a sudden you decided you had to change your heart, or what happened?
Yeah, so over the 11 to 13 years of oil and gas, I dabbled in real estate. I bought my first house at the age of 24, or my first mortgage at the age of 24, and I never even lived in it. It was an investment property.
Nice.
I took real estate investment classes in college, so real estate was always.
Wait, they had real estate investment classes?
Yeah, what college did you go to?
Wait a minute.
I got cheated out of that one.
I went to UT San Antonio, and I was an accounting major. And
What? I thought that was just a party school.
Yeah. Look,
Wait, they actually have classes there?
Yeah, if you go, yes, they do have classes.
And they're not drinking classes?
But yeah, so accounting degree, and then as I got into my finance degree, I double majored. I noticed that they had real estate law, real estate investing, and so I started taking those classes, and that kind of opened my eyes to the real estate world.
So when you said dabble, you actually mean I just ended up buying an investment property.
Right. Well, my intention was to start, I was like, I'm going to buy a house. That's what I wanted to do. That was my first goal out of college. And so I did, but then it kind of rolled on to another investment property. And then I ended up managing, I had 5 homes under my belt at the age of like 28.
Nice.
And I was
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, it's a lot of, especially when some of those houses are empty.
Yeah.
You got to pay all those mortgages, and you learn about responsibility real quick.
Yeah. All of a sudden you had big boy problems.
Exactly.
Nice. All right, so at some point you decide oil and gas business isn't going to be for me.
Right.
What happened there, and what made you go into loans?
So, throughout that 11-year history, I went from oil and gas, moved to Houston. I was in Houston for a while, went to New York, got into banking, and then came back and just staring at a wall of computer screens for 14 hours a day. I always had my head in the clouds or my head somewhere else. I was never truly happy with what I was doing.
Yeah.
And so one day they were giving us our bonuses, and then it turned out to be a non-bonus, and then and you do all that hard work, and you figure, why am I?
Did they really hand you something that said non-bonus?
It was basically
a non-bonus.
Here's a non-bonus.
You owe us money, actually.
Here's a goose egg.
Wow.
We actually call this an invoice.
Yeah, they billed me. But at that point, I figured, why am I, busting my butt for 14 hours a day, and I'm not fulfilling my potential.
Yeah.
So I took some time off, took about 9 months off, and I had an acquaintance who's now my branch manager, who's also my mentor now. I knew what he was doing, so I had coffee with him, and I'm like, I kind of know real estate a little bit, and I just need some guidance. And so he took a chance on me. He's like, I would never hire anybody without experience, but you do have a little bit of experience, and you know about it, numbers and finance. Go get your license, and we'll bring you on board.
Nice.
And that was in November of 2015. And so from then on, it's just been go.
Yeah.
Starting a new career all over again is not easy.
Yeah, what was that like, man? I can't imagine, because you went from oil and gas, which means you were doing really well.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you were able to buy 5 properties.
Right.
And then you get into a scenario where you're having to feed yourself.
Exactly. I mean,
what happened there?
You're living off your savings, and you're literally living like a college kid all over again.
Yeah.
But at this time you're age of 35.
Yeah.
So you're
a 35-year-old college kid.
I remember those. Do you think your college days helped you out there, or you're like, all right, round 2, I'm prepared?
Oh, for sure. It was like it was very easy, especially after starting all over again at the age of 35. Living like a college student at the age of 35 is frowned upon.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, that guy should have his life in order. But you do that, and you got to downsize. If you got to refinance your car, you got to move into an apartment that fits your budget. You do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So that you're saving cash, so that all that cash you're saving can go into the business.
Well, I think you bring up a good point, because you say you do what you got to do, but a lot of people really don't have that mentality. They have this thing where, they feel ashamed from those frowns and those side eyes you get, from having to eat ramen or downsize or whatever it is. And a lot of people, they just choose to go into debt and live the lifestyle to keep up the image.
Right.
And they don't put in the sacrifice to get to the point where you are a successful entrepreneur.
I couldn't agree more. I think the hardest thing about doing that is all your friends are in their careers for 10, 12 years at this point.
Yeah.
And they're still going to happy hours, and they're doing all this stuff. So you learn really quick, you learn how to say no. And you have to learn how to say no, because that's money out of your pocket that could be spent doing, Facebook marketing or videos or buying that camera for the videos. Mm-hmm. It's just that you have to embrace that struggle, and you have to embrace the fact that you have to say no.
The beautiful thing about real estate industry happy hours though is that you can literally go out and eat and drink for free
Yes.
every day. I don't know about you guys, but if I was a 35-year-old college kid, I know where I could go.
Yeah, and and that's what I did. I did that. You go to those happy hours where you get some Chick-fil-A chicken nuggets as an appetizer, and that's your dinner some nights. You know what I mean? But
that's what you're saying. That's what it takes.
And
that's what people sometimes miss. Then they come in and they think, well, I should be getting up and going in the next few months. I should be making, $20,000-$30,000 a month. They want to live this extravagant.
Moving into a house that kind of
everybody's read the 4-hour work week, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna work only 4 hours."
I love that. There you go, guys. And let me make sure for our viewers out there, because we posted this picture recently. We made a post and we made a challenge here in our office where everyone posted it, and just to see who would get the most likes and just experiment with social media. We don't believe that you can literally go out and, if you're new in the business, work 4 hours and make the money that you should be making. That's not the
4-hour work week is the end goal.
That's the end goal.
That's what's at the end of the road.
Tim Ferriss wrote that book and probably only works 4 hours a week because he wrote the damn book.
Got you guys.
Yeah. The only guy making the money is the guy making the buck. Yeah, for sure.
All right, so you go through the struggle. You downsize. You do what you have to do. At some point, you make a change, and business starts ramping up. What was that point in your business? What ended up happening? Do you remember like something definitive happening, or you figuring something out?
Yeah, we call it the tipping point. There's a book by Maxwell.
Or Malcolm Gladwell.
Malcolm Gladwell. The Tipping Point.
It's called The Tipping Point. It's a good book because it kind of showcases. It talks more high level, but there always is that tipping point, whether in any career or relationship or whatever you're doing, to where sometimes it just takes doing that little bit of effort for the whole glass to tip over. And I think what that was for me was just staying consistent. And I mean, persistence is one thing, but persistence can also get annoying.
Yeah.
But staying consistent, whether it's social media marketing or those Facebook posts, I see people do it all the time where they'll post for 5 days straight, and they won't post again for a month. And you have to stay consistent with that. And I think after that was the tipping point for me, is just being consistent with people, following up when you say you're going to follow up. Even if it's a day later, you're still following up.
How did you experience that tipping point? Like, what was the feeling? Was it just like boom, or it was a gradual change, or when did you realize that, oh, I'm on the other side of this point?
Right. It's a gradual flow, but when you start, I think my professional career as an oil and gas person, just having that structure of corporate America, as much as I shun it now, I've embraced that structure, because that's what you need in everyday life. And I think that whether it's waking up at 7 a.m. no matter what, even on your day off or not, having that structure is going to keep that consistency. And I think it's just asking people to give you a chance. I mean, sometimes that's all you need is give me. You may have 4 lenders ahead of me that you've been working with for 4 or 5 years, but give me your worst deal. Give me like the hardest deal to let me help you get your buyer pre-approved. And let me prove myself. Let me start at Z, let me work my way to L, work my way to J, and hopefully work my way in your top 3.
I got to say, that's probably the hardest thing about being a loan officer that I see from my end, because I mean we get probably a handful a week that wanna come in and talk to us and really and they're absolutely and it's like new ones each week too on top of that, and so on the real estate aspect of it, on the realtor side, you're bombarded with new faces, new people. And a lot of them are great. I mean, not all of them are, but a lot of them are. You can tell that they're quality people, and it's very difficult to say who you're going to work with when you're being bombarded by so many great people.
Right.
So I absolutely agree with you on that aspect. It's maybe just taking the hardest one and working from there and building that trust. But not everybody thinks that way. I mean, I get emails or texts sometimes, or even like Facebook messages. Hey, let me pre-qualify you, and it's like, dude, I don't even know who you are. Have you ever even come out to like any of our events or done anything? Because I don't even know you. How am I supposed to like trust you with the thing that makes me money and the thing that keeps my family alive, which is my clients?
Yep.
You know, how am I supposed to trust you with that?
Yeah.
So people miss the ball, I think, in that respect. All right, so you go through it. You go through the struggle. You figure you go through the tipping point, and then you decide you're going to take the bull by the horns and start marketing online. And I mean I remember that's when I started seeing your face and really saying, wow, somebody's really gone outside the box here. So what prompted you to do that, and how has that helped you so far?
Yeah, Facebook, social media in general gets shunned. There's pros and cons. People look down at, oh, it's a waste of time, and it can be a waste of time if you don't utilize it properly. Yeah. Right.
If you're just on there swiping your friend's stuff, and we were talking about this earlier. You're just on there gossiping.
Yeah.
We were gossiping about the gossip.
but if you use it to kind of get to know your client, like, hey, Alan, you and I were connected for a long time before we met in person, but I knew that, hey, you boxed, as a workout. I mean, you can use it to build a profile on people.
Absolutely.
So that you're not just connected, you're actually, when you do meet that person face to face, you know a little bit about them, you can talk about it.
Yeah.
And so what drove me to do what I do as far as the monthly mortgage videos, I saw what my competition was doing.
Yeah.
And I looked at it and said, I think I can do better than that. And so I invested in lighting and cameras and microphones, and I wanted to make mortgages not so boring. And so
it's hard to make mortgages sexy.
Thank you for that.
And so
someone had to do it.
If you got to talk about the D, if you got to talk about the D, talk about the D. But the D could be divorce. You know what I mean? It's some funny stuff like that. So I mean, I feel like that was part of the tipping point, because it started adding some validity to what I was doing, and the people that I met prior to that were like, hey, he actually knows what he's talking about. And it helps build that level of trust.
Definitely helps you be seen as an expert.
Yeah, for sure.
Nato Guajardo says, what's up, Ralph? Love hearing the backstory and the struggle, man. People really like to hear the truth on what it takes to get started. Yeah. And I think most of the stuff that we see normally is the opposite. It's you can come in and start making a ton of money, and it's totally not that at all. We have to take a quick commercial break, you guys. Don't forget that you can post all your questions, comments, concerns below. We love hearing from you guys. You're on the Realty Ruckus. We'll take a quick break and be right back.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express, who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service at an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
Welcome back, everybody. We're on the Realty Ruckus here with our special guest, Ralph Tapia. We've been talking about, what the struggle is like, what it looks like to go from being in the corporate world, making great money, buying a few houses, and then saying, you know what, that's really not good enough for me. I want to do better. Coming into an industry where you basically call your own shots, begin from start from scratch, having to go through that struggle, and then really figuring out what that tipping point is and going across it. And so one of the things we discovered by just talking to you here is that you've found a way to make mortgages really, really appealing by just making them fun and
not
sexy.
just appealing, sexy. Which is
that's the word we used.
Yeah, exactly.
No, and I'll be honest. When I saw his video and he was like, "Let's talk about the D," I was like, Cause we used to make that joke on the show, a long time ago. But it's true. I mean, I kept watching, and that's actually what got me interested in bringing him on the show, because I was like, he really made that video appealing, and he talked about something that's important for people that they needed to hear.
Yeah.
But he made it in a way where it wasn't just, let me tell you about mortgages and divorce, It was an interesting way to hear information that was important.
Absolutely. And you said, well, I want to separate myself from the competition because I want to see what everyone else is doing. I'll help you out. Everyone else is doing absolutely nothing. I mean, they're just like waiting to have people call them and give them referrals and give them business, but not really bringing any value. And that's one of the things that we've really focused on here is what can we provide of value before we go out and ask for the business. And I think the value that's being provided with these videos is making them to where people are happy to watch them and not bore themselves to death.
The D video is probably my most popular today.
We definitely realized the power of a title, because I think in one of our episodes,
I put foot fetish,
and that's our most watched.
That video had like 1,200 views.
What's scary about that is that I'm pretty certain people are typing foot fetish on YouTube or like Google, and we come up on there. So.
That's exactly what it is. I mean, people go in there like, type in the D, and then his mortgage video comes up, and people are like, get educated all of a sudden.
Oh my God!
I didn't know I was gonna get educated today.
So one of the things we like to talk about here is the big why, not the D, the big why. and so we all have something that we work for that keeps us going, that wakes us up in the morning, that makes us really, really happy to come in at 5, 6, 7 in the morning and leave, at 5, 6, 7 p.m.
Right.
And what do you think that is for you? What's driving you? What's fueling that?
I don't know if it's just my upbringing. I was raised in a middle to lower class family, and so we never really had everything we wanted. I mean, my parents tried as hard as they could to get me things we wanted. I remember having first pair of shoes that were like $100 back in like '95, and my parents, I know,
what were they?
Air Jordans? They were the.
They had to be Air Max 95s, man.
No, they weren't Jordans.
You got the Filas.
They were like the Pippins, I think. Like the
Pippins,
like the
nice.
air flights.
Oh, dude, you were like the coolest kid in school. You thought you could jump higher?
Yeah. And I think just that little upbringing, and then obviously my mom has been a huge driving force in that. Always very entrepreneurial, doing like a flower shop as a kid, working there on the weekends, like a Trader Village kind of, before I guess or flea markets or whatever, which is essentially what Trader Villages are now. They're just flea markets for hipsters.
Yeah, expensive flea market.
Exactly. And so I just that upbringing and always trying to strive for more, and that's ultimately why I wasn't. I mean, I was good at what I did in oil and gas, but I was never happy.
Yeah.
And that's why when I chose this line of work, whether it be some people choose to be a realtor, a loan officer or insurance guy, you're always striving for more.
Yeah.
And there's no ceiling. There really isn't. I mean, if you work as hard as you want to, you can, and you may not get the immediate benefits of it, but it's going to happen if you just stay consistent, stay persistent, and just keep on doing what you're doing. So that was the main driving force. Yeah. Before I had a baby.
Oh,
I'm a new dad.
Congratulations! Thank you. A lot of new dad.
I think
all young dads up here.
Yeah, 7 months old. And so now that's kind of my new driving force. Yeah. Now I'm like, if I can show her as she's growing up what it takes to work hard, then hey, I won as a dad. right? And so that's part of my drive too. Well, now it is. Now it's kind of shifted more to more of a family centric kind of thing. So
absolutely,
yeah.
I it's kind of funny because when we have bad days, and everyone does, when we have bad days, and I get to the house and the kids hug me, and Vanessa's here, she's watching, my wife. The kids hug me, it's like everything goes away. Like all the bad shit that could have happened that day is gone, you know, and it's like a good reminder of, oh, okay, this is why I work really hard. This is why, I had to put in 12 hours today for whatever reason.
On the flip side, being in this business as well, like I remember the first time my son, he was just barely starting to walk and stuff, and I was leaving one day, and he ran up to me. He said, "No, Daddy, don't go," for like the first time ever. And that broke my heart. So I was just like, fuck it, I'm going to stay for a little bit longer.
But you can do that. How beautiful is that?
Yeah.
In this business, you can be like, all right.
I was like, there's no way. This is the first time my son, say he's going to miss me, so I'm just going to stay for a little bit.
Right. Yeah. Or when they ask you to go to lunch with them or whatnot. I mean, that we have the opportunity and the possibilities to do that. Even as busy as our schedules are, even with everything that we have going on, if the occasion arises, you can say, you know what, today I'm just going to go have lunch with my kid, and so be it. Everything else can wait, right? And
you can always make up that time later and just work a little bit later.
Exactly.
You're not having a boss like, hey, you need to be back before 1 o'clock. It's your lunch hour.
Exactly.
Or especially as she was growing up, or as a newborn, she still is a newborn. If I wanted to stay and feed her in bed for an hour on a Tuesday, I could.
Yeah.
And then take her to daycare. So that's kind of like my driving force now. But the struggle is still persistent there. And,
I'm sure the struggle has increased.
Yeah, and in our line of business, you eat what you kill.
Yeah,
and so you can never stop killing, so to speak, because you got to keep.
I like that analogy.
I hadn't heard it said that way before. Actually, you said that. Me and Alan looked at each other and we were like, "Yeah,
we're gonna have to write.
I'm gonna have to go kill something."
I'm probably not the best use of words. Not the best use of words, but you get it. You get it.
Such a way with words. Appreciate it.
You're such a poet. So, all right. So now you know what the driving force is. You come in, you're doing these amazing videos, you're seeing your business take off. What are some of the things, what are some of the key takeaways that you would redo if you had to do it all over again?
Redo. They say, sometimes 80% of the people, or 80% of the work comes from 20% of the people. Mm-hmm. When I first got into the business, I was, spending all my time on 20% of these people that took up all my time and that had zero revenue coming in.
Yeah.
And
we call them time suckers.
Yeah. And it's very, very easy to do, because you're trying to establish yourself with someone, in the business. And so sometimes you just kind of focus on them, but you start to realize, man, they're taking up 80% of my day. I've gotten nothing from them. Yeah. So I think that was a big, that's part of the whole tipping point. We use that as a keyword today, because now it's like I focus on maybe 10 agents now that I know that we have a great working relationship.
Yeah, man.
And they bring in probably 60% of my business, because a lot of it now I get some business rolling in from Facebook now, and obviously some builder accounts. But that would be the biggest takeaway, is just start to say no to those people that are taking 80% of your time. They're not a revenue producer.
Yeah, saying no is a very powerful concept.
And it's hard.
People starting out, they're just so hungry to make any little cent they can get that it's hard to say no.
Right. I mean, especially if you're a yes person, you want to help people get stuff done. You just realize that sometimes you just gotta say no, And
well, it enables you to actually do your job better, grow even more, and turn around and help even more people. So you saying no will actually be more detrimental than the people you're trying to help.
Right.
Than you going ahead and being a yes man.
Right. Agreed. And also, I guess another thing that I would have done differently is Facebook marketing. I just started really, and people shun it, because it's a social community.
Why do you think people shun it so much?
I think because we
get that criticism too.
Right. And, I feel like, Facebook is becoming a hub of information, whether it be socially, like we're all people, we're all busy, we all have our family lives, and sometimes you get disconnected from your friends. Yep. And if I can see my friend doing something in San Antonio fun, hey, at least I can see them, they're doing well still, but also from a business standpoint, just blasting stuff on Facebook all the time, you have to be more strategic with it.
Yeah.
And I think, people need to really focus on that. And we talked about this in the commercial break.
So what you're saying is the realtors that post about their open house every day, or about the new listing that they got every day, or the house that they just sold every day, you're saying that that's not effective? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
I think it can be. I think it really can be effective, but if it's directed at the right people.
Yeah.
And that goes to the list that we were talking about on the commercial break, where it's a little unknown fact in the Facebook community that you can categorize people as, you know, realtors or potential buyers.
Here's a golden nugget, you guys. You might want to write this one down. I think we've dropped this one a few times. I don't think a lot of people actually pay attention to some of these.
That's what Ralph was saying, that I guess you caught that episode and you feel like not a lot of people take advantage of that. So tell us a little bit more about that and how people can actually take advantage of that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as a connection, Alan is a connection of mine on Facebook. I can go and create an edit list. Well, Alan's in Houston. I'm going to add him to my Houston list. He's a realtor. I'm going to add him to my realtor list.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a realtor, you can say, well, Alan is a potential buyer.
Yeah.
You know, or people that you meet randomly are potential buyers, so that when you make a post, you can send it directly to your potential buyers. Yeah. If you have an open house, you can say, so I'll never see it, but you're going to be directing that to the people that need to see it, or that you want to see it. And that also feeds into the Facebook algorithm of relevancy.
Yeah.
You know, the more relevant your posts are, the more people are going to like them, the more they're going to keep on seeing them.
People don't really understand what that algorithm really is. And no one really, Facebook really doesn't put that out there.
Right.
No one really does.
Right.
But relevancy in general, how do you become more relevant with your lists?
Right. So you can get as specific with it as you want, and it does take time. And I think that's the biggest hurdle is time.
Yeah.
You know, if you have, say, the average person on Facebook has 500 connections, you have to go and you say you want to create 10 lists, 500 connections, 10 lists, and you want to categorize different people. That takes hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
And sometimes you just don't make that effort to do that, you know. And I feel like that's the biggest part of not doing it, and maybe just the education part of it too.
So wait, if you're new, if you're just getting your business started, would you say that as you accept people, you should be dropping them into a list?
That's habit now.
Yeah,
that is pure habit now. Because you'll forget about it a day or two later.
Yeah,
you know.
And then you got to go back and go through their page and figure out who they are or what they do, and then find what list they qualify into.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, it takes a little bit of work, but if you want that your business to grow, you have to put in that work to make it grow. I mean, it's as simple as that, you know.
What are you doing with like the people that don't interact with you on Facebook? Do you accept them, or do you erase them, or do you comb through your friends and
Yeah, that's a good question, because that actually happens to me. I get a ton of people who add me. I have no idea who they are, and I honestly don't know what to do with them a lot of the time.
I've been more selective recently. You know, if it's so-and-so nail salon, I'm like, who is this person? You know, and I'll keep them on the pending, you know, connection list for a while, and then I'm like, I think about it for at least a week or two, and I'm like, no, I don't need a nail salon as my connection. You know, now if it's a friend and starting something, then I will fully support their page. Because at the end of the day,
you're talking about when someone creates a Facebook account and in their picture it's such and something nail salon,
right?
Instead of a person, or instead of someone that's really behind it. It's just someone trying to market to you or trying to get your business
or get to your connection.
I've noticed a lot of those especially since we started the Realty Ruckus. A lot of those people trying to connect with me, and so I'm sure you guys have noticed it even more. It's just people just random people that I've never talked to, and I can just you go to their page and it's all business marketing, and I can just tell they want to use other social media's influence. You guys have noticed it. Other social media influence for their own gain, without putting in any of the legwork.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started getting a lot of requests, so I gave my VA a list of rules to follow to accept them. And one of them is combing through their page for the last 10 posts and seeing how often they post and what they post about.
Right.
And if it's if they only post about one thing and it could be whatever subject it is, then that's a red flag for us. Or if they only post maybe once a month, then it's someone that really doesn't interact, and it's probably not going to be a good friend for us to have that relationship with.
Right.
So we actually don't accept them because of that.
Yeah, you gotta say no.
and what happens is you have a limit of about 5,000 friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
And you want the people that you're interacting with to be the people that are going to raise your post to the top. And that happens every time you make a post with people actually liking and commenting on your actual post. And
Right.
if people don't do that, the way that it naturally works is Facebook says, well, this is probably not a relevant post, so we're just going to kind of put you to the side. No one is going to really see anything.
Right. So if you're posting 10 open house, postings a week, it's not relevant. People are going to stop liking it.
Exactly.
Now,
no one's going to see your posts anymore.
Right. But if you direct it to certain people and provide relevancy to those people, you're going to move up that list.
We have to take a quick commercial break. Don't forget that you can drop all your questions, comments, and concerns below. We'll be right back after a few commercials here at the Realty Ruckus. Stay tuned.
Hey everyone, this is David over at White Picket Realty, and I wanted to tell you about my friends over at Plans Express who can save you the headache of running your own permits. These guys are committed to offering a one-stop solution for all your plan and permit needs. They're proudly serving their friends and neighbors in the Houston surrounding areas, and they offer great service at an exceptional value. With dedicated professionals ready to serve, contact them today at 832-675-6217.
Hey Houston, this is Alan Hernandez, and I want to remind you guys to visit our friends over at Quest IRA to learn everything there is to learn about investing with your IRA. Now, if you haven't been over there recently, you have to check them out. They have free educational classes, networking opportunities, the ability to tap into $1 billion for your real estate investing deals. These are the guys to know when it comes to learning about this kind of stuff. You want to make sure you visit them and check them out over at www.questira.com. Again, that's questira.com.
Stop searching and start staying in the know with our Houston Real Estate Events page on Facebook. Follow us by searching at Houston Real Estate Events to stay up to date on the latest events for real estate in the Houston area. If you are interested in having your event on our page, please email me at david@whitepicketrealty.com. Again, that's david@whitepicketrealty.com. Non-paid events only. One more time, find us on Facebook at Houston Real Estate Events, and we'll see y'all at the next one.
What do you love about White Picket?
I love that we work together as a team.
I love being professional while having fun.
I love the innovative approach we take every day.
I love the support we get to grow our business.
We love White Picket.
And I love empowering the next generation of realtors to live life by their own design. If you're looking to grow, come grow with us. Email join@teamwpr.com. Again, that's join@teamwpr.com.
Welcome back to the Realty Ruckus here with our special guest, Ralph Tapia. We've been discussing what it takes to get into the business, get out of the corporate world, come on in, build a business. We've talked about Facebook, friends to invite, friends to get rid of. I mean, dude, we've covered a lot of material today.
A lot of info in such a short amount of time.
It's been awesome. We're coming to the end of the show. So one of the things that we always want to make sure our viewers know about are all of the top real estate events here in Houston. So make sure you take out your calendars and go ahead and start RSVPing for some of these, because we have a great set of events coming up. I'm so excited about this.
We don't have too much coming on going into the holiday season, but the events that are here are going to be great, and you guys are going to want to attend. So first off, it's actually going to get all started off the weekend after Thanksgiving. Sorry, the week after Thanksgiving. Starting the Tuesday, the 28th, here at the White Picket office, we're going to have Crush It in 2018 goal setting for realtors. So if you're a realtor, please RSVP for this event. The Hernandez brothers are going to be leading you through setting your goals for 2018 and actually creating a structure on how to fulfill that vision. And then the very next day, a big event actually, a lot of different associations are coming together, the Harvey Road to Recovery event. Alan, do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so man, I'm really excited about this one. HAR is working together with all of the large organizations here in Houston. That includes NARIP, which, as you guys know, I have the honor of being the president of that organization. And so what we're doing is we're bringing a huge panel to talk about what it takes to recover as a business and as a realtor from being impacted by Harvey. And so what we want to do is give everyone all the tools, all the resources necessary to literally be able to take that information and then deliver that to your clients. We're going to have the city of Houston there. We're going to have the permitting department there. We're going to have a mold specialist. We're even going to have a psychiatrist there. Mold.
Mold.
Yeah, mold.
I was like, what is a mold specialist?
Mold specialist. It's all about giving the community everything that they need to really be powerful when they're dealing with a client that's going through a struggle right now.
Yeah, that's going to be a great event. I believe registration starts at 10:30 at the event. It's going to run till 3:30. Lunch is provided, and you can find all these events on the Houston Real Estate Events page. Now, later that night, there's actually another networking mixer. So after you've gone through, gotten all the tools and resources you need to help your clients, you can take the edge off with a couple of drinks at the Real Estate Industry Mixer Edition 3 that's hosted by our good friend Jeff Emerson and AMI Lenders. That one's also going to be a Spicy Girl in Midtown. That's going to be a good time from 5:30 to 8:30. I feel like
Spicy Girl by the mid-December is going to be burned down. There's a lot of real estate parties going on.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they got it lined up quick.
They did a great job, by the way. If you guys haven't visited that restaurant, make sure you check it out. It's
phenomenal.
A phenomenal place to go have some food, and it's located perfectly. So we're actually going to be having our Christmas party there. Are you going to tell everybody about that one?
Yeah, so obviously it's invite only, so special guests. So if you're on part of the cool kids, you might get an invite now. But we are having a onesie upon a time. I'm a little bit scared because it's going to be a great Christmas party at Spicy Girl, and we're all going to be wearing onesies. So I'm sure you guys can't wait to see those photos. I'm just scared of the terrible case of swamp ass I'm going to have.
All right, so we have the onesie party. That's December 6th. What else?
The next day is the infamous PLF Christmas party. Again, that's invite only. If you want to get invited to literally the hottest parties in Houston, you got to close transactions at Patton Law Firm.
Yeah.
And you cannot miss out on this party. It's
epic.
It is.
Every year
it's epic.
It's epic. And some crazy thing always happens. We won't even bring up last year, but I can tell you something crazy will happen this year.
We can't talk about
happens
it.
At the law firm party stays in.
Due to legal restrictions, we can't discuss last year's party.
Anyways, Ralph, you want to give us your one last tip for entrepreneurs out there and tell everybody out there how they can contact you and a little bit about network funding?
For sure. If you're planning to start all over, or you're thinking about getting into the industry part-time or whatever it is, I would say a couple things. One, embrace the struggle. Embrace that mental ideology of living like a college student. I mean, that is going to save you so much money, and it's going to humble you back a little bit. Hey, it's okay to eat Hamburger Helper if you haven't eaten Hamburger Helper in 10 years. If that's what you need to do to keep to keep yourself fed, but also to put money back in your business, embrace that struggle. But two, the most important thing that I've been doing lately is just reflecting on showing yourself gratitude. It's not my idea. I learned it from a podcast I listened to, or YouTube channel I listened to. And it's, if you're in traffic and you're like, this traffic sucks. Just imagine changing that mindset. But I'm in the 4th largest city in America, and it's a growing city. I'm okay to be in traffic. Just change that mindset, because this industry is hard. Mm-hmm. It really is. So if you could change that mentality just a little bit each day, man, it makes leaps and bounds on your progress. So those are the two takeaways. I'll just do that. But as far as where you can find me, you can check out my Facebook business page at Loan It Own It. It's my little tagline.
Loan it, own it.
I loan it so you can own it.
I loan it, own it.
So
nice.
At Loan It,
That's cool.
Own It.
I like it.
Yeah. It's a weird story how I came up with it, but we'll dive into that later. But,
we'll have to do another episode.
But check out my Facebook business page. I mean, that's where I do all my content, most of my content. Good market content. I try not to do overbearing. I want to provide some value. You can also, there's my contact information on there as well. Network Funding is a great company. We're based here in Houston. Have, I think, 20 branches locally, and we're a nationwide lender. So we're not a small company. We rock and roll. So check us out.
Man, It's been a pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for stopping by and dropping some drops of golden knowledge. We really appreciate that. So, all right, to end the show off, we have some amazing events coming up that everyone can actually find where?
At Houston Real Estate Events. And if you're not following us on Facebook, at White Picket Realty, both pages, you definitely need to be following to stay in the know and stay up to date with all the events.
Yeah, so Houston, at Houston Real Estate Events.
Yes, that's the main page. All real estate events go on that page.
Absolutely, and not just our events either.
No,
like
everybody's.
Houston real estate. Like if you have a cool event that you want to share, what happens and who do people contact?
Go ahead and shoot the message button on, hit the message button on the Houston Real Estate Events page, or reach out to me, David@whitepicketrealty.com. I'd be happy to add any free events that you have that will be impactful and of value to the real estate community.
Beautiful. Thank you guys again for taking part in today's show. It's been a great show, you guys.
Yeah, thank you, Ralph.
I was super nervous coming here.
Wait, you were nervous?
Oh man.
We didn't notice because you were just pacing back and forth.
Off camera.
I had to call him out.
What a great show. This is awesome. I'm a big fan, and I like what you guys are doing. Separating yourself from the pack, and that's what you have to do. You have to put in the time, the effort, and the equipment. I mean, I can't wait to see this thing grow.
Yeah,
awesome.
Man. We're excited too. Thank you for being part of it. Thank you guys for being a part as well as our live studio audience. We thank you guys for being here. Don't forget that you can catch us every Friday now. It starts at 9:30 a.m., ends at 10:30 a.m. We'll catch you. We'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to keep up your ruckus. See you then.
All right, guys.
This has been the Realty Ruckus. Make sure and join us every Tuesday and Friday for new episodes. Find us on YouTube and Facebook for replays of previous episodes. And as always, keep elevating yourself and keep up your ruckus. Thanks for listening. Realty Ruckus has been brought to you by Smart Pig Media Productions.